How you not like blackberry smoke? That's good stuff. Hey, I apologize. My spam hat may be a little bit dirtier than normal. I was feeding the hogs yesterday, and thing just went over into the hog pen, so I had to throw my 6-year-old son in there to get it out for me. So put it on top of the refrigerator, let it dry out a little bit. But it's a little more dirty than usual. So, hey, everybody, it is July 22nd, 2021, 12:01 p.m. Don't force trades, never force trades. Don't just trade for the heck of trading. You want to trade that, what do we normally do? We sell options with the odds in our favor, right? Probabilities in our favor. Then we manage our risk, and then we rinse and repeat. It's quite simple. But today we're actually going to work on our Baim program. What is Baim? Well, Baim is the ugly sister of AIM. Well, what is AIM? AIM was what was come up by Robert Lucello in his book, How to Make $1 Million in the Stock Market Automatically. And if this account were running AIM, it would say, hey, UMDD is down, Bobby, buy 56 shares. ERDI is down, buy 3 shares. The NASDAQ is up, sell 2 shares. The Dow is down, buy 10 shares, and so on and so on. But in the account that I'm going to show you today, we're not doing this. Why are we not doing this in this account? Well, we're trying to compare between two accounts to see if AIM or Baim is superior. So what I did is I said, hey, let me just do the opposite of what Lucello did. So when something goes up, let's buy more of it instead of sell it. And when something goes down, well, it's underperforming. So let's get rid of some shares. So that's why I came up with Baim. Now, do I know if Baim works or not? No, I do not know if Baim works or not. What I do know is that we've been running Baim in this account since March 26. And that's been our primary mover of our profits. So the profits in this $35,000 account, we were over 8,000, right? We've had a couple of down days that tricked us up a little bit. So we're up $7,200 in the account. Now we have sold options in there as well. So I don't want to, say this is entirely Baim, but I think Baim was probably a large part of why we were going up. So we're going to work Baim today. So what I did is I came up with an algorithm, and if you got the spreadsheet, instead of the AIM dashboard, we go to the allocation dashboard.
Sophie didn't care. She was concerned.
So we go to the allocation sheet, which is where Baim is. And the cool thing is, if you have Excel, it automatically pulls the beta up on our spreadsheet, which is really, really stinking cool, right? It already pulls beta up. Why is beta important? Well, I've given a 14% weighting toward beta because Lucello said you wanted something that was a big mover, right? Well, the SPY has a beta of 1. So we know that, UMDD and UDOW and UPRO are over 3. So they move basically 3 times the amount that SPY will move. So that's kind of what beta tells us. And then I came up with about 9 other things that we're going to look at to find out who's outperforming who. And then the little algorithm comes up with a sweet suggested percentage of the portfolio, which is all driven by something else. And I go to the variables page where I've told AIM or Baim the percentage that we want to have in stock. So right now I said, hey, of this account, I want 75% to be in those ETFs and stocks. So let's go back to the allocation page and let's start working on it. So beta automatically pulls in. So Excel is afraid we're going to sue them in case something is, incorrect. So they give us this little disclaimer: financial market information is provided as is, blah, 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 blah. So, I guess we're trusting them somewhat for putting that in there. Have y'all ever noticed I never give a disclaimer? I never say anything. I never tell you, how, oh my gosh, you watch every stinking person that does trading on YouTube and everything, and they got this, humongous disclaimer written out by their attorneys and something, hey, let me just tell you what my disclaimer is. My disclaimer is I'm the worst trader on the planet. Don't follow anything that I do. I trade real money. I don't do this fake paper garbage to give you false, information. All the stuff you ever see me do is live. And I'm horrible, but I'm not as horrible as I used to be. So that's my disclaimer. All right. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to put in the IV rank for all of these, 12 little underlines. Where do you find that? Well, I find it easiest to get it from Tastyworks. So you're saying, well, I don't have an account with Tastyworks. We'll set you up one. Get you an account with Tastyworks. It's free. You don't have to fund it. So let me mute everybody. I'm hearing a little bit of background stuff. David, it's not letting me mute you. Would you mute yourself for a second? I think that may be where the stuff is coming. So what I do is I'll go to my positions tab. If you don't have positions, just type it in, right? It'll say you SPY is IV rank is 13.2. But let's hide our options trades. And let's just show our stocks. And one of the little things that I've added, I think over here on this wheel, is the IV rank. So why do I care about IV rank? Because in this program, I kind of like things that move, right? So if you've got a higher IV rank, that means you're in play. So in this little Baim system that I came up with, it gives a slightly higher allocation to those that have a higher IV rank. So, UCO would get a bigger nod because it has the highest IV rank of all of these little items. Now, let's check it out though. What is the weight on IV rank? Not much. And you can change these to be anything you want to. You say, man, that IV rank ought to be 10%. Well, change these. This is the weighting that I give everything. So the biggest thing that I weight is I love the big green monster. I think it's very helpful. So I give it a 15% weight. 200 EMA or simple 200 SMA, simple moving average, I believe is important. I give it a weight of 15%, but you can weight these any way that you want to, which is cool, right? You decide what's important. Or if you say, Bobby, I don't believe in EMAs. I believe in stochastics and RSI and whatever. Well, come up with your own little deal here to put in here. So you can modify this to be anything, any technical indicators that you like. I've just given you 10 here to kind of give us a bearing of what everything does. So let's do and start entering those. So I told you where I get the information from. So let's painstakingly go in and do this. Now, I used to do this every day. I'd go in and do this. Now, I do this every week. Why? Because it was a pain in the butt doing it every day. Now, the easiest thing, AIM work, not Baim, but AIM. So if you wanted to let AIM does all the work. Check AIM out. AIM is telling me to buy and to sell different underlines. But again, I'm ignoring this totally because we're testing out Baim. And so far, Baim's doing really well. All right, so let's go. I just want to make sure everybody understands the difference, right? We are going with the hot stock in Baim. With AIM, when a stock is not doing well, you're buying more shares of it. So what works better? Don't know. That's why we're playing. All right, so UMDD, let's start entering these in. 21.8. Wow, it's a lot bigger than it was. UBT is 20.8. ULE 3. AGQ, which is our silver, is only 5.9. ERT is 19.1. So it's kind of cool too. You can see, what has gone up and down as far as volatility from the last time that we did this. 16.4. UDAO is 20.5. Ugly 9.7. UCO is, that's our oil or oil, however y'all want to say it. UPRO, y'all probably don't got the accent that I got. And what's weird is all my kids don't have my accent either. It's strange. I'm like, where are y'all from? Y'all sound like y'all from New Jersey or something. Because I'll say dog, DAWG, and they say dog or whatever, however they say it. And I'm like, okay, 27.4. SPY is 14. All right, good. So we got Dwayne with us. Jason showed up again. That's good. Ken is with us. Stacy's with us, and David is with us. Awesome. All right, so we've got our IV ranks filled in. Now we want to get our 5-day percentage returns. Okay, well, let's see where we get that. So I got you something neat to get that information. Check this out. Check this stuff out. I like it a lot. And I've set me up a little comparison chart and I've saved it. So what I've done is I've gone into tradingview.com. You can set you up a free account. I pay for an account, and I'm not sure why I pay for it. I thought there might be some benefit to it. I'm not sure that there is because you can do this account on a free account. And what you are doing basically is you'll, do a chart and you'll put in SPY. And then you'll hit the little compare button. And so anything that you have in your Baim or AIM account, you'll just hit compare, right? And you'll put in the symbols that you want to compare it to. So I put in all 12 of mine. So SPY is shown here, right? You'll see SPY in there. There's SPY. And then you'll see all 12 of my other ones. So what I'm doing is entering these percentages into the spreadsheet. So I'm kind of comparing how they're doing. So that's kind of cool, right? You can see that oil is outperforming everything. So the first thing I do is put this on a 5-day chart. Let's make sure that was 5-day. Apparently it was not. So we can see what's outperforming everything else. So this is where I get it now. Make sure you see this UMDD in the last 5 days is 2.83. You see that little negative sign? That's not a negative sign. That's just their little symbol. You see when it has 2 of them, that's negative. So you just got to be careful that you realize, don't put that down as a negative. That's not a negative. Hard to see there. But when it's got the negative sign right next to it, a 2, that's when it's actually a negative number. So that's all I'm doing is I'm comparing these, first of all, on a 5-day basis. So I'm going to move that out of the way. My second screen. If you don't have a second screen, ain't no big problem. I've got a couple screens. All right, so let's see. UMDD is 2.83. Oh, heck, I'm in the wrong square, Bob. Here we go. UMD over the last 5 days, 2.83. It's down today. UBT is negative 3.49. And keep in mind, you can put any stock in here you want to into your little Baim program. You can do Apple, you can do Tesla, you can do Amazon, whatever you want to do. So ULE is negative 0.34. AGQ, which is our silver, is our worst performer the last 5 days. It's negative 5.81. ERT is negative 1.41. TQs are negative 0.05. UDOW, negative 2.83. Seeing a lot of negative numbers, people. Oh, 2.83, Bob. I'm not as good as type. Of all the classes I took in high school, typing was by far the most useful. Ugly is negative 2.42. UCO is, where's my oil at? It is negative 1.91. UPRO, negative 1.42. O is our real estate is negative 0.24. Junk is our little bond fund, and that's negative 0.10. And then finally our SPY is negative 0.40. All right, beautiful. All right, so then we're going to do our 1 month return, which is simple to do. All you do is take that exact same chart. Take the exact same chart and click on 1 month. Boom. Kind of want to see how they're doing on a 1 month basis. So 1 month, that kind of shows you everything in comparison. So let's record those percentages over to the side. Ken, where's your picture at? I don't see your little picture of, you normally have a little jellyfish or something.
I'm in a place where I don't have my little doolally to hide my screen.
Oh, I got you.
And I'm like, you don't want to look at me. It looks like I stuck my fingers in the wall socket.
Hey, dude, I come on here every day looking like that. I mean, I just roll out of bed and then here I am. 3.63. Hey, Ken, tell everybody you're working on another class for us, right? You kind of got some ideas on something. We were chatting a little bit about it.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm trying to answer a question for somebody here in the group.
Yep.
And it kind of grew kind of big. And what it is a small account.
Yeah.
And frankly, I'll give you a preview. I've come up with two big strategies that I think would be great on a small account. That's minimum risk. My philosophy on a small account is that you need to pay attention more to preserving your capital than getting it. In other words, mind your loss. And one of them is the butterflies, just plain butterflies, because you have a defined risk going into it. And it's doing debit spreads, believe it or not, but you're doing them at the money, where your in the money leg has some intrinsic value. And what you do is you balance out the spread to where the time value in the out of the money leg is equal to the time value in the in the money spread. So essentially, when you put on the spread, you don't, your thetas cancel. So basically, by expiration or less, you're not going to take it to expiration. You're going to get out early. But this has a higher hit rate if you do it right.
Okay, awesome. So I like that. So how long do you think before you'll be ready to run with it?
That's more important.
So how long do you think you'll be ready to run with that, Ken?
Okay. So that's on your. I don't know. I'm testing, doing it on a account, and it's vaporware right now because I want to put it in a spreadsheet and I want to do PowerPoints. Okay.
Awesome. Well, hey, don't let me rush you. I mean, you take your time, but I'm excited for when you're ready to show that. So we're grateful for that. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of folks is they want to do what you're doing, including me, but the knowledge and trust of the system, not trust of you, but trust of the system.
Sure.
And then again, the big boy. I mean, this is the lead dog on the sled, is the SPX. And for people with small accounts, you really have no business trading the SPX. And because that's, you're swinging a lot of money around.
Sure. Great. That sounds exciting though, and I probably do need to be more mindful of smaller accounts. Normally, I just get on here and I just fling what I'm doing, but I certainly want everybody to get benefit, from what we're doing. I've even talked about starting a smaller account, so maybe we'll do that at one time. See if I can keep from blowing it up. It's been a while since I've blown up one, so I probably probably need to be there. Because it's not funny when it's your account being blown up, I can promise you. Because I have been there and done that. All right, so now we're on the 3-month, y'all. Just checking this out. So it's going to take you about an hour, if you do this a little program once a week. Of course, I'm talking while we're doing it, but 4.46. All right. So then I'm going to skip the big green monster for now, and I'm going to keep on these little charts. And I also have another little bitty thing we call the love bug. Let's see. And it's another chart. And all this one is free as well, it's the linear regression. channel. And I do that on a 1 month chart. Make sure we're on the 1 month. So everything looks good. So I want to see how these things, I want to see how this linear regression channel looks. So basically you're going to indicator and you're typing in linear regression, and there it is, linear regression. So let's see how all this stuff looks on the linear regression chart. And I want to know, is the little thing pointing up or down? So as you can see in SPY for the 1 month, let's say in SPY, hold on, let me just close this, go here, and then save these charts. So load new, load chart outlook, load the linear regression. And here she goes. So SPY, you can see clearly SPY is going down. So what does that mean? Well, what does it mean? It means that, let's see, SPY has nothing to do on this with the algorithm, but I just like looking at it. I like monitoring it. So I'll say down, down. Let's start back up the top, UMDD. And I like showing you these because some of these are subjective. UMDD, see how that looks. UMDD. UMDD, I would call that up, even though we've fallen out of bed, right? Little linear regression is up on the 1 month, so we'll call that up. Okay, UBT. What's so good about the linear regression? Nothing really. I just like looking at it because it kind of tells me, you know, what's the trend doing over the last month. UBT is up. Up. ULE is sideways. Last time, let's see what it is this time. ULE. Yeah, sideways still. What else do we have? So these don't change as often. AGQ was down. So AGQ is our silver. AGQ is down still. Okay. ERT was down. And I'd still say that was down, pointing down. ERT down. TQs was sideways last time. See what that's doing. Wouldn't surprise me if that was pointing back up. That was our NASDAQ deal. No, it's still down. It is, TQQs was, let's see, TQQs was sideways. So I'm going to move that down now. Oh, crap. It messed it up. And y'all, this is the thing I've still got to fix, and I don't know why there's an error. For some reason, it won't pull up the correct formula for down. I need to fix that, so just double check. In other words, this should be 75% if it's up, 50% is sideways, 25% if it is down. All right, so let's leave that open, make sure everything works out. UDAL is down. Y'all hear my kids screaming in the background. Can you believe my wife is making me take 3 of them for an eye exam today? Unbelievable. Okay, so see, I put down there, and I've had to replace it because the formula doesn't work right for down. So I got to make sure that's 25%. I will fix this. I just got to figure out what the problem is and why it's working that way. Ugly. You ugly, and your mama dresses you funny. Y'all never heard that as a kid. I guess kids always make fun of the fat kid at school, and that was me. All right, so ugly is going up. Same. UCO, what's our oil doing? So I'll know how much I'm going to pay at the pump. I notice gas going back up again. Seem like. about $1.89 or $2.89 in our town. Wow, look at this. Even though the price has been going up, it's got the channel, the regression channel is down. Cool. All right. So UCO was sideways last time. So now UCO is down, which means that should change to 25%, but it don't. So I got to change it manually. It's the only one you got to change something manually until I fix it. All right, UPRO. That's the Ultra S&P 500. I got to call that down, don't I? Don't I have to call it down? Yep. Okay, so let's call that down. Yep, see, it won't put it in there, so you got to put it in manually, 25%, not 26%, Bob, 25%. Now, that fixes everything. O was up last time that I did this. Try to do it once a week. When I was on vacation, I didn't do it up once a week. You know, that's the good thing is forgiving. What if you can't do it every week? Do it every 2 weeks. Do it once a month, like Lucello did. That's fine. So O is still up. We're almost finished with all this, believe it or not. The junk was down. How you doing today, junk? Junk is, yeah, I'd say that was down. And then finally, we got to do our SPY. And you don't worry about a number out beside SPY because this is not part of the algorithm. It's just something I like keeping a tab on so I can look at it, see what SPY is doing. And SPY is down. So you can do any stocks that you want to. You got a really small account, you probably don't need 10 or 12. You probably need 3 or 4, right, underlines in it in a couple thousand accounts. Okay, so we got all that done. So now I can hide this again since we fixed all those little deals. Hide. Now we're gonna go to the big green mustard. What's the big green mustard, Bob? I don't have that on my thing. Okay, all you got to do.
Does the SPY also need the percentage? I know this is blank for the 25, 50, 75.
Yes, SPY does not need the percentage. SPY is not part of the algorithm on that. The only number down here where SPY is included in the algorithm is in this 5-day return. So if you don't if you don't put anything else there, I just do it because I like to track it. The only one that's used is this one right here. And this, by putting it down, SPY is not used in the algorithm. I just like looking at it so I know, okay, because eventually, and that's a good question, I'm going to write an algorithm that will tell us how much percentage that we should use in the stocks. And SPY will come into an account at some point to do that. I tried an algorithm and I didn't like it, so I've just got to write one. And those come when I'm sitting out on the swing, drinking the iced tea and, trying to, when a thought comes to me. Hey, our buddy Matt is in. Matt, let me hear your voice. I love you, man. My wife's always asking how Matt's doing. Matt, you okay? He may not can talk, though, because the boss may be in. All right, so let's go back. Now, so we're going to go to the big green mustard. Matt, are you there? Oh, he can't. Let's see. Someone typed something. Matt says, I'm in the office. Okay, Matt. Just know I love you. Love you, bud. All right. Where was I at? Okay, what's the big green mustard? Okay, if you don't know what the big green mustard is, then all you got to do is go to YouTube, and if you will search Voodoo, like Sweet Bobby Voodoo, right? Sweet Bobby Voodoo. There it is. Sweet Bobby draws voodoo charts, and this is an hour, 18 minutes of fun-filled, whatever, I guess it's fun, of drawing the big green mustard. We do it once a month at the start of every month. It is nothing that I ever did. It is something that a gentleman by the name of Blake Young put together. And after I learned how to do it, I was like, dude, this is genius. And I don't know why it works, but it works. So y'all reach out to Blake and say, and now if you ask him, hey, Blake, I love your big green mustard, he's going to go, what? Because he doesn't call it the big green mustard. I call it the big green mustard. right? And this thing is really, really cool. So remember, didn't we see the point of control down here or something yesterday? And I told you it'd probably go up back to a, I don't know. So anyway, here's SPY. And what we're looking at is this. We're looking at a few things to do and to make my decisions for next week. Right now, you see this little 50% dotted line. So I know that SPY is fairly priced. You say it's overpriced. No, it's not. SPY is right where it needs to be. It is in a fair price zone, FV, right here. And I know that because it's in the little one that's got the little dotted ones here. So we use Fibonacci retracements and extensions to draw these. It'll show you everything in that voodoo chart. And, if y'all want me to do a live class on this, and, those of y'all that don't know how to draw these, then we'll draw them. But most of the old timers in the class are really good at drawing these things. So let's just look. It's at the point of control. It's above the 20, the 50, and the 200, 20, 50, and 200 period moving averages. I look at this on a 10-day, 30-minute chart. So what am I thinking for the next week? Well, if I had to say, I say that we are fairly priced and above all three averages. So what does that mean? I think we're going to stay in this fair price range. So keep in mind, though, there is that in the back of our mind that says, what if we have a shutdown again? What if we start shutting down stuff? Remember, we went down 35% in March of 2020. Could that happen again? Oh, absolutely. So with that in the back of my mind, do I want to now go, hey, let's increase the amount that we have in our account, or do I want to leave it at 75%? Or do I want to reduce it to 70%? So my thought process is I'm going to leave it at 75%. So your variable, this is one variable if you're using Baim that you have to mess with, that you don't have to mess with if you're doing AIM. So I'm going to leave that at 75%. Okay, so let's go back to allocation. And we know that SPY, now remember, this does not affect the algorithm, but I like monitoring, is in the fair value range. And it is above the 20 EMA, it is above the 50, and it is above the 200 simple moving average. Beautiful. All right. So really, that's kind of bullish. All right. Now here's where we start making changes. These things do count in the algorithm. So let's start putting those up. How is our friend UMDD doing? I think that video shows you all about the volume profile chart, all of this. So you'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, so here's our friend UMDD. Look how beautifully this chart works. Chart caught it down here, right? This is a fair value range right here. Fair value. Price goes down and says, hey, wait a minute, I'm oversold. And it says, no, Bobby drew a big green monster, so you got to jump back into the fair value range. Oh, okay. And then what does the dang thing do? UMDD jumps into an overbought condition. And it says, as if to say, see where these little periods of support and resistance, depending on what side you're on. And then it says, hey, you need to jump back into the fair value range. So UMDD is fairly valued. It's within this big little range that has the 50% line in it. So it is fairly priced, and it's below, and below the three moving average lines. Okay, so let's go put that in. It's fairly priced, below. So that is supposed to, the algorithm says, make that 8.59% of your portfolio. You need to sell 4 shares. Okay, so now we'll go to UBT. And this is kind of cool stuff, right? For those of you that are geeking out on this, it's kind of cool. All right, UBT. All right, here's the one with the 50% line, either 50, 150, negative 150, it doesn't matter what 50 it is. If you're in that particular range, you're fairly priced. If you are just below that range, then you are oversold. Now, this should be very bullish. This is a bullish signal for the 20-year treasury. What it's saying is there is a high probability. I don't know what probability is. I just think it's high probability that price is going to come back into this fair value range. and it is above all three of those moving averages that we track. You don't like the exponential, change it to the simple. Change whatever floats your boat, whatever technical analysis you like to use or don't use, use it. So, but I also know there's a good chance that we're going to go to this little red line, which is the point of control on volume. This is where the most volume is traded in the last 10 days. But the algorithm says recorded as is. So it's oversold, right? Because it's come down out of the fair. So it's oversold, likely to go out back into the fair value range, and it's above all three moving averages. So let's go put that in. It is overbought. No, it's oversold. Now watch. Sell 9 shares. But when I tell it it's oversold, now it says only sell 2 shares. Why? Because it's saying, hey, there's a chance it's going back up, and it's going to love the above, above, above. So instead of selling 9 shares, I'm selling 2 shares. And it's as is now, it says it should comprise 11.4% of my portfolio. All right, so now let's go to ULE. ULE. Yeah, volume profile and market profile combined together are really strong, in my opinion. What I know. Here's a 50% line. So we know that it's within this range. I don't see any other green lines, so it's fairly priced. But where is price? Well, it's down below the 20 and the 50. I don't even see a 200. I don't even see a 200 anyway. It may not be one. So price is below these. And I'll just put below, below, below. So it's fair, below, below, below. Fair, below, below, below. Okay. All right. AGQ is our silver, ultra silver. AGQ. All right. Silver, silver, silver. All right. Here's our little 50% line. I don't see any green lines above or below it, so it's fairly priced. Where is it? Well, it's above the 20 and it's above the 50, but it's below the 200. So it's above, above, below, and fairly priced. Above, above, below. Fairly priced. Now watch this. Do nothing. Then all of a sudden I say, hey, but wait, it's above. Now it says buy 2 shares. Then I say, hey, wait a minute, it's above the 50. Now it says buy 8 shares. Isn't that cool? And it's below that. And then it readjusts everything, right? So these are all dependent on each other. All right, so let's go to URTI, which is the Ultra Russell 2000. These, put this in. URTY. Yeah, I'm excited to take my kids to the eye doctor today. And the problem is JoJo's 6 years old and he wants glasses. So I got to tell the doctor, listen, this little monster wants glasses. So he's going to tell you he can't see nothing. So I think they'll probably be able to work through that. All right. So let's see what this is. URTI is fairly priced. Everybody sees that? It's in this fair price zone. If it had been down here, it would have been oversold. Now look what price says. Price says, okay, you're in the fair. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down into oversold. And then it says, wait a minute. Bobby drew a big green monster, so we need to pop our butts back into the fair zone. Isn't that cool? So it's fairly priced. I would say that's, right at or below. So below, below, below. Fair price, below, below, below. So let's go do that. All right, what's this? Do nothing. But then I'm going to say, hey, wait a minute. It's fairly priced. Now it says buy share sales. So it's below, below, below. I think it's what it was, right? Double check. Yeah, below, below, below. All right. So now we got to go to the Ultra NASDAQ, the TQs. Hope y'all following along with this. This is, and I found this eye doctor in Heflin, Alabama that we're going to. And the reason I like him is I have great insurance, optical insurance. So the appointment is $5, right, for your opticals. And it costs $5 with my insurance. And then we get the prescription, and then I send them off to Zenni Optical. so that some child in India or China can probably make them, you know, or whatever. I don't know where they make them, but anyway, then you get these glasses for like $20 instead of my mama buying the Gucci eyeglasses that they pressure her into for, you know, $400 or $500. And then I can buy extra pairs of these, and I don't care if the kids mess their glasses up because it's $20. And this particular eye doctor does not say, you sure you want to do that? You don't need to order them from Zenny Optical. And they make you feel so, you know, like, I feel like a criminal coming out of here. But this eye doctor says, hey, do you want me to just give you your prescription so you can order your own glasses? I'm like, yeah. And he doesn't make you feel like a criminal. Love that. So I love this dude. All right, so you see, this is the 50% line. So we are fairly priced, right? We're in the fair zone, and we are above, and above. For the next 7 to 10 days, we are bullish, baby, bullish. So let's go do that. Fairly priced, above, above. TQs, not oversold. So it says buy one share. So let's change that to fairly priced. So now it says do nothing, and then above, it'll like this. Do nothing, above. I say it'll like it, above. There we go, buy 2 shares and above. Because it does everything in conjunction with everything else, right? All right, UDAO. Yeah, y'all might like getting the high dollar glasses. Not me, brother. $20, about all I wanted to do. And I was able to get me a prescription pair of sunglasses for like $20 from Zenny Optical. The very first sunglasses I've ever had that were prescription. So cool. Because my last pair of Ray-Bans is in the bottom of the Ocoee River in Tennessee, where I fell out of the raft and lost my glasses. All right, so let's look at UDAO, y'all. Here's a 50% line. We know we are in the fairly priced zone. Guess what? I'm even more bullish on this one than I was the TQs. Why? Well, the TQ's volume point of control was down here. Where's the volume point of control here? It's above. Now, here's how you can use a big green monster, y'all. You can sit there and say, oh my gosh, so you're telling me, or on anything, so draw it on something. If you say you're above, and you're fairly priced and the point of control is above, I mean, you can start selling puts in something. Now, could you sell puts in UDAO? Probably, I mean, you could, I guess, but I don't think the liquidity is there. But all of a sudden, you could do puts, sell put spreads. You can buy a butterfly at the 75, going, hey, we're probably going to tap that. So it's all kind of ways you can use this information to make your decisions. But this is even more bullish because let me show you the TQs. The TQs, you know, is bullish. It's fairly priced. It's above the thing. But look where the point of control is. This is where the most volume has traded in the last 10 days. You know, and this thing kind of acts like a magnet sometimes. And you'll see, you know, price come back down into that. But we don't see that on the UDAO. On the UDAO, Ultra DAO, we see point of control is above it. So I would be, if you're anything, I'd be even more bullish on the Dow than the NASDAQ. I hope that makes sense. And you can draw a big green monster on anything. You can draw it on diamonds, you can draw it on the Qs. So this one is fairly priced above. UDAO. Fairly priced. All right, so it says sell 4 shares. Now watch what happens when I change that to above. Sell 3 shares. What about if I change that one to above? Do nothing. Cool. All right, so then we're down to ugly. Ugly. Yeah, let's zoom out a bit so we can see what level we're in. Now, these things are wide apart, aren't they? So I gotta, what have I gotta do, Bob? What you gonna do, Bob? You're gonna change that to your hand so you can manipulate this a little bit. So here's the fair zone, big old fair zone down here. So we're above the fair zone. What does that mean? This means that the stock is oversold, right? So fair comes above it. It's no oversold. It's overbought. Sorry, overbought. So it's overbought and above the 20, below, above. Here's the 20, here's the 50, and here's the 200. Gosh, I'll never get this right. Okay, so this one is overbought. Let me just do that first. Shut dog. Shut dog. Overbought. Got it. We're overbought. And let's look at this again. So it's above, below, above. Above, below, above. Above, below, above. There we go. UCO, you want to know how your oil is going to be doing? You want to know if you're going to be paying more to pump over the next week? Well, I can pretty much tell you. I can tell you that you are above the 20 and the 50. You are fairly priced. We have a point of control where the most volume has. Your gas is going up, baby. Bank it. That's what I'm thinking. So we've got fairly priced, above, below. Fairly priced, above, below. Fairly priced. Above, it'll like this, above, and below. There we go. All right. Now we're at UPRO. This will tell us what the S&P 500 is going to do. UPRO. Now, does it always work out? No. Again, another very bullish sign on UPRO. Why? Because you're in the fair value zone. You're above all three moving averages, and your point of control, where the most volume is traded, is here. Very likely to go back and tap it again, baby. So this is a very bullish sign for UPRO and the S&P 500. So we're going to go fair, above. And I hope I'm explaining these correctly. So watch what happens. It says sell 2 shares, but when we change that to fair, it says 3 shares, and then above, it's going to like that, it's going to like that, and it's going to like that. So this will give us finally buying 3 shares. All right, let's go to our old slow real estate. Oh, back when I was a real estate investor. I guess I still am because I got my little farm here. Oh, going to the courthouses and battling with the attorneys and hiding behind bushes. So as we would bid at the foreclosure steps, oh man, that was fun times, adrenaline times. And there was this old mean attorney who is dead now. I wouldn't wish death on anybody, but let me tell you something. He was a nasty old cuss. And we would hide behind the bushes so he wouldn't see us, because he would come out, he'd peer up with that old, nose in the air and make sure we weren't there to bid, because he was trying to protect his client. Didn't want us to buy it out from under his client, but I often did. Anyway, foreclosures are a neat thing. I love them. So where are we, y'all? All right, so this is the fair zone. So let me make sure it's the fair zone. Yep, there's our 50% line. So that was fair. So now she is oversold, right? Oversold because it's below that. And we're below, above. Oversold, below, above. Let's go put that in. Oversold, above, and below. So we were selling 4 shares. Will this make a difference? Selling 12 shares, it does. It does not like that it's under the 200 moving average. Doesn't like that at all, especially when I've given the 200 SMA a 15% range. You don't think it's that important? Move that down. I'd still make all these equal to 100. All right, so that leaves us with junk. Let's go do junk as our last one that affects the algorithm. Then we're ready to trade, baby. All right, junk. Well, let's see. Fairly priced, right? It's in the fair zone. It is above the 20, the 50, and below the 200. So fair, above, below. Fair, above, below. And where's it probably going? Probably going there. Fair, above, below. Fair. So do nothing, but then we'll change that to above, and it's got us buying 2 shares and below. And friend, we have completed the algorithm. The data
Could you
input.
go back to for the realty income? I don't know if maybe I just missed that, but I think I saw the ticker might be above the 200, or maybe I just missed saw.
Yeah. Okay. So what did I say? I said it's below, above. So here's the 200, right? So that one is right now just below that. So it's below, above. What did I put? Oh my gosh, you're right, right? Let's see. Oh, is that below, above. Thank you so much. You know,
No
this is
problem.
only as good, and thank y'all. Rick is normally the one that catches me on all my mistakes. So I appreciate you catching me because this is only as good as the info that we can put in. Now, the cool thing is I am talking with a software developer, some really, really smart guys, right? So I went over to their house the other day and we had a little meeting, and they're going to try to fix this for us so that all this stuff will be automatic so that we ain't got to do anything. We just come in here and we just, you know, it'll just tell you, hey, pal, you need, you know, this percentage in this percentage in this, blah, 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 blah. So now we've got our percentages. We've got
Oh, sorry
our,
to interrupt one
I
more
don't
time.
think you
The
I don't think you
200 is
changed
above.
the 200.
Yeah,
below, what is this supposed to be? Above?
above.
Thank
Above.
y'all so much. Good. All right, so now we got it now. Below, above. Matt, I'm so glad to hear your voice, even though you're in the office. All right, so now here we are. We've got the stuff, and now it's just a matter of doing it, right? And it's kind of cool. So let's go back over here, and let's sell 14 shares of UMDD. So keep in mind what a difference that is between Baim. Bobby Genius comes up with this, right? Bobby Genius says, hey, I think I know better than this guy that did, and I'm not necessarily saying that, I'm joking, of course. But Lucello says, Bud, you're wrong. You need to buy 56 shares of UMDD. I got it, but we're just trying something. And so far it's been successful. So we're just going to see. So this tells me that UMDD has gone down. But since it's gone down, I'm saying, shed it, baby. Throw some of that off because we want to be in the ones that are overperforming. So let's sell 14 shares of UMDD. And we'll hit the bid. We'll sell 14 shares. And then we'll enter the trades, and I'll show you how cool it is at the end. So we'll sell 14 shares of that. Field, baby. Then we will do our next one. We'll sell 7 shares of UBT. Sell 7 shares of UBT. Bid. 7 shares. The cool thing is there's no commissions on stock. So this doesn't, doesn't hurt us on commissions. We'll sell 7 shares there. ULE, sell 9 shares. And I am glad to have y'all kind of looking over my back because, I forget stuff. Really, y'all see my mind is messed up in so many ways. So we're going to sell 9 shares of ULE. Beth asked me this morning, did I have any dreams about her leaving me again last night? I did not, because I was mad at her when I woke up. AGQ, 4 shares. Buy 4 shares of silver. So silver must be doing good if it wants us to buy 4 shares. Buy 4 shares. Chadunk, chadunk. And that's working. There we go. Erdy, buy 1 share. So it's not big adjustments that we're making, but so far so good. Erdy, buy a share. Make sure you don't leave the 100 in there. All of a sudden you'll be using all your buying power. Okay. Erty, buy 4 shares. Erty 1. TQ, buy 4 shares. Buy 4 shares. All right, and we're almost done. UDAL, sell 2 shares. I'll sell 2 shares. Sell 2. There's a lot of things I like about Tasty Works. There's a lot of things that I like about Thinkorswim. Which one did we just do? You down? So we're at ugly, right? Ugly is sell 4 shares. Ugly is sell 4 shares. What I don't like on Tasty Works is occasionally they charge you a penny or two to do these stock trades. I don't like that. They don't do that in Thinkorswim. Not sure why. UCO, do nothing. Okay, UPRO, buy 3 shares. We can do that. UPRO, buy 3 shares. On the ask, 3.
You can thank the United States government for that penny. It's a tax.
Yeah, you know, that's just crazy. And I hope we don't get a transaction tax any more than what we already have. You know, stop it. O is sell 8 shares. Oh, as someone who worked for the federal government for 27 years, you wouldn't believe it, would you? As much as I have. You always got to fight government back, y'all. You can never let government just run wild. You got to fight them back. They want too much power. Can you imagine the founders, they would roll over in their grave on some of the stuff that government is involved in, and they would tell us that there is no way. I hadn't sent this order yet, have I? That the government should be involved in so many things that they are. We sold 8 of those. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. They both spend too much money. Junk, buy 2 shares. You think you're going to get fiscal responsibility when the Republicans get in, and you don't. They just spend, just like the Democrats. It was kind of cool yesterday. You can see who got the PPP loans. Did you know that? They've got a website out that you can see who got all the PPP loans. So I run the page for our community, our little town here in Georgia. And I posted the businesses that got the PPP loan. I said, hey, cool, you can see who got the PPP loans. Oh, my text messages started blowing up. The business owners wanted me to take it down. They didn't like the fact that Bobby was telling everybody they got the PPP. And I thought the PPP was good stuff. Why would you want to hide that? So what did I do? I took it down. There's my Sunday school class. What am I going to do? All right, here we go. All right, so I think we got everybody in there. So now I'm going to show you how to record these, right? And this is kind of cool. So we've done our trades. Let's make sure we don't have any working orders. Go to activity. Go to undo field and go working. No orders present. That's good. We'll go to field. All right. So then it's just a matter of logging in the trade, the price, and the number of shares. So I'll show you how we do that. I'm going to take this off to the side screen. If you don't have a side screen, that's fine. How many times I told y'all the best trader I know that makes $3,000 to $5,000 a day? Old boy's got no laptop. Now he does have a few. What is the cars he likes? He's got a few Corvettes, I think. But he just runs everything on the old laptop. Now, what am I doing? Oh, here we go. You got to go to the AIM activity tab, right? All right. What is this, Bob? Well, this keeps up with your streaks. I built in governors that really, work on more of the AIM than the Baim, but, fill this in. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in what we traded today. So we're going to go junk. We did O, UPRO, ugly, UDOW, TQs, 30, AGQ, ULE, UBT, and UMDD. All right. Then I'll just put in the shares for each one of those. So it looks like we did 2 minus 8, 3 minus 4 minus 2, 4, 1, 4 minus 9 minus 7 and minus 14. All right. What date did we trade them on? We traded on this 22nd, 21, 7, 22, 21. Look what Matt taught me. Matt, don't you think I ain't learned anything from you? Matt taught me to do both of those, to highlight them and then pull this little thing down. What's this? Show week. All right, then let's put in our trade prices for all those. 109.69, 69.87. Matt, Beth always asks about you. Always asking, how's Matt doing? 74.71, 130.82, 99.85, 43.05, 14.4, 55.69, 28.99. Now I need to fix this formula where it'll automatically just do that, but I'll just pull it down. It does all that. Now, new capital rebalancing or new underline. Okay, if you're doing the Baim, we always put this as yes. Okay, new balance, rebalancing, or new underline. If you're doing AIM, we put it as no. Don't ask me why. I can't remember why now, but I built it that way. All right, and then carry our streaks down as well. So we really don't have big streaks, do we? We bought jump the last 2 times we made a trade. We've sold UDAO the last 2 times we made a trade. We bought AGQ the last 2 times we made a trade. And then I bring our governor decisions down as well. So we'll go down there, there. That automatically fills in as well. So then when you go to your allocation tab, it should say, do nothing. Boom. We're good for another week, 2 weeks, or a month, or however often you want to do this. So what do we have? We got a cool little spreadsheet with an algorithm that I built that should you put too much trust in? No. Right? You really shouldn't. So I'm experimenting with it. Now, how's the experiment going? Well, the experiment's going good so far. How do we know? Because we're running it in this $35,000 account. And so far, we're up $7,200 since March the 26th. So we're doing good. All right, so now let's just look at everything. We're kind of looking at our deltas. You know, we got negative vega, we got negative theta. You know, you can let this run, or you can put some orders in. Let's see what we've got as far as our positions and our options. So we've got all this. What we got as far as options in here. And I wish we could group them better. So ES, what have I got in here? I've got a 3-5. That is a black swan hedge. We've got the devil we got here. We got black swan hedges, just looking at everything. We've got 3 short puts. We've got a space trip trade, 2 space trip trades. So I've got a -3 that are unmatched at 70 days out. Let's go look at that. So this is why I hate Tastyworks. I don't want to say I hate it, but I can't group these trades. So 70 days out, I need to check that out. What have I got on in the macros? Beats the devil out of me. Let's see, 38, 70, 38. What are those? All at 40 days. So those are just short puts. And then we got the VIX hedge in. All right, so let me go to ES. Let's see what we've got here. Go to the table. 70 days out. I've got some unmatched shorts in my black swan hedge. 70 days out. Here you go, Bob. And let's see where my 3 shorts are. 3 shorts. Oh, man. Show my positions. Hold on. Show positions. There. I'm learning Tastyworks. Here I am. All right, so we've got 3 here that we sold for who knows. And then they're at 3.15. So I know I can't buy those back now. I think I'm supposed to buy those back when they're $1.65. So I'm just checking on stuff. So everything looks good. All right, any questions about Baim? That is Baim. Matt's
Or
doing well.
the activity sheet. I noticed those 3 columns that are blank. Are those important, or what are those used for?
Let's see what those are. Activity sheets. AIM activity. Yeah, so we've got these here, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, what you'll see, it does have something filled in at the top, right? So this is just my governor guides. I basically said if your streak is 1, I put a governor of 0.1. If you've got a streak of 2, 0.15. And what this is, why I put the governor on here is to slow it down, especially on AIM. So if you're doing 10 sell side orders in a row or 10 buy orders in a row, let's go to 10 buy orders. You're going to run out of cash if you keep buying 10 times in a row. So what I did is I said, look, if you're going to buy one underline 10 times in a row, I've got to increase this, which is used in the algorithm to slow down those purchases so that you don't run out of cash in a bear market.
Oh,
So,
got it. Okay.
yeah. And
Great.
so, but there's a great question. So I built it in to do 20 in a row. Now, nothing that I have done has even, I mean, we got 3 in a row here, right? Well, here we had 5 sales in a row, but we've done nothing to touch so far, 20 in a row. So it's just to slow it down. And actually, I don't even think that applies on the Baim side of thing. I don't think I have that in there. But on the AIM side, yeah, you don't want to run out of cash. So you go to AIM, now we're saying buy 57 shares of that. So if you were to do that, this thing is built in so that you won't run out of cash. If UMDD starts going down even more than it has, it'll slow the brakes on your next purchase. But that's a great question. Great question. All right, guys.
Okay, cool. And I
Yeah.
guess the AIM activity, that sheet itself, would you only trade one strategy at the time? Because I assume the AIM dashboard and the allocation, which is correlated to Baim, both reads that same activity sheet.
Yeah, it uses the same activity sheet. So yeah, you would do one at a time, right? So you would do either AIM or Baim. And it depends on now. Let me tell you, Jason, that's a great question. I do need to tell you something. I want y'all to be aware of something really, really important. If you're running AIM has you selling things for profits, right? So you're going to be buying. So you will not sell anything unless you have a profit. Now, if you're using Baim, you may very well sell something that you had a loss on. Let's just see that for a second. Let's see your positions, realized day. All right. So realized day. You see this? So on the O, I lost $2.47 today. I lost 20 cents today on that, and I lost $14.26 on that. This may very well subject you to wash sales. So what are wash sales? Wash sale would be if you sell something for a loss and then you jump back in it within 30 days. So if you are using Baim, there's a couple things you could do. One is do not make adjustments. Now, don't do them weekly, but do your adjustments every 31 days, right? So that you are not being subjected to the wash rule. Otherwise, you're going to need to elect mark to market accounting, right? When it comes tax time, or you need to obtain tax trader status so that wash sales will not apply to you. Now, that goes above and beyond anything that I'm able to coach you on that. I would say get with Mr. Green at Green Trader Tax, book you a 45-minute session, talk with him, spend $175, be the best $175 that you ever spent. He knows those types of things. But with AIM, which is probably the easier to run, right? Then you are only selling when you have profits. So you don't have wash sale problems because everything is sold at a profit. And you're buying things when it's lower. Now, which one works best? I don't know. All I know is in this account, I've done really, really well. 7,000 on, $35,000 account, and 3 months or so, whatever it's been. God, time's going. Maybe April, May, June, July, almost 4 months now. That's not too bad. So, keep that in mind. So you want the easy peasy, run the AIM. You like the challenge of trying to pick the high flyers and, doing a little technical analysis or whatever you call it. And you want to do RSI, stochastics, and what's the other one everybody uses? I always forget it. RSI, stochastics, and
MACD.
MACD, baby. MACD. How can I forget the MACD? And you can run that. Oh gosh, now keep in mind, this thing brings in the prices and everything here. So now it's like sell a share. That's fine. Don't worry about it. We made our changes. No need to do that. We'll wait until our next update. So I think this has been a really good overview of Baim. Keep in mind, Baim is only 4 months old. It's something I concocted out of my head going, well, let's take Lucello's algorithm and let's twist it on its head. His is the more tried and tested one. Right? Now, then you got to trust that I put in the information correctly here. So, go in and peel this onion, unhide all of these columns here and go, what is Bobby doing? Because I'm going to tell you something. When I look at this, I go, I have not, and I was concatenating and lining and doing all kinds of stuff. And I go, right now, I'm not in the mental area that I can even figure out what I did. But go look at the formulas that I put in and try to figure it out. Because I'm the one that hardwired this. So if there are mistakes, we'd like to know. But so far, it looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. UMDD has been down significantly, and it's telling me to buy 57 shares. All right, good. So now someone needed a one-on-one. Who was it that needed a one-on-one? Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, it was me.
Jason, you need a one-on-one tomorrow? If we did it right after our thing at 1, would that give you enough time, you think, or when you want to do it?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
All right, so we'll do it right after our session tomorrow, Jason. We'll meet one-on-one.
Thank you so
and
much.
get you set up. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, y'all have a good rest of your day, and I will see y'all tomorrow.